What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hope everyone killed it out there Monday. Um, for this video, I'm going to go over something that I think is really important when it's just to developing as a trader. And I think just building your own watch list helps in way more ways than we think, and it's honestly helped me a ton. Not only does it help with the self-sufficiency, but it also helps being able to identify key levels, understanding price action, looking through and incorporating flow, stuff like that that has played a big role in me developing my system, which I preach a lot. I know it's probably pretty annoying at this point, but developing that system and then being able to act on these trades with more conviction. So the first thing when I'm building a watch list, I hop over here on unusual whales, of course, scroll down to this hot chains and tickers. I'm going to hide this index ETF to start. Then I'm going to scroll down a little bit. These names up here, you can definitely play them, but Tesla, I know that the bid-ask spread is going to be pretty high. Prices are going to be pretty high. Same with the AMC. I don't really like playing AMC, so I like find the tickers that I'm more familiar with. Tickers that also have a good out of the money volume on their top of their charts. So one thing I do notice is BAC for smaller accounts. I noticed that because it's one of the tickers I highlighted for small accounts that I like to play, has good volume and under 0.75 both ways. MU gapped up. I'm going to stay away from that for now just because of the uncertainty of SPY. But one of my favorite ones is Microsoft. So I'm going to take a look at this, see what I like, see how the flow is, and see what the levels look like after that. So first thing I'm going to do, today's breakdown, scroll down here, these most active chains. All right, cool. First thing I noticed right away, first chain on here is this 1223 325 call. We got good volume, almost 11.5 thousand with the OI of just under 5,000. So about 2-to-1 volume to open interest. That I like. Then I also noticed this put here, 315. If we look where Microsoft finished up here, it finished at what, 320.17. So both of these are $5 out of the money. They both expire this week. So that's something I really like as well. But I also noticed this 330 call, which is, let's see, $10 out of the money, getting some good hits. So we can play at that. And it's even getting hit up to this 340 call, which is pretty cool. Good volume on that 330 call as well. And then down here we have this 310 put and 320 put even. So I like that. I'm just going to go over next and find some key levels. First thing I'm going to start with, pull up Microsoft, look at the chart. First place to start, always the daily. What I'm going to use the daily for, I'm going to find a range and use the 20-25% method to find those where I should look for these triggers, right? Another thing I notice here is we have an inside day. It also is a key level of support. We need to hold this level or else there could be a big flush, down to 310 with this VPA. I like that a lot. When looking at this range here, we got 317, 322, $5 range. Okay, 10% of that, what's that, 50 cents? Okay, cool. So I'm going to look within $1 on each side of our finishing price, 320.12. So right before I even know anything, I'm looking for about 319, high 318s on the put side and about 321-ish on the call side. So the first thing that sticks out to me here is this attempt to reclaim support right here. This is 321.69, 321.4. So I'm going to throw a line in here, 321.4. Let's see, it's yellow. I'm going to flip that to white. I like white better. I think it looks a little better. All right, cool. On the put side, what do I notice? I notice this little curl up here. We got a low, what's this, 318.65, and another low around that same area. So I'm gonna throw this in here, and then use, let's see what this is, 318.63. All right, I like that a lot. And it is about $1 down and $1 up, so these fit in the criteria. Cool. I also noticed that we have this big range up if we can get over that 321. We have to the top of this about 323. Just throw these in here. Edit this, 323. Cool. 323. And then I notice we have a bigger resistance up here at 325 that has been tested. Cool. So I'm going to throw those in. That'll be good for now on the upside. On the downside, we saw on the daily that this is at support and looking to bounce. So in terms of the bullish side, we need this to bounce. Cool. So I know that if I get underneath these levels here, we could have a big fall down, which gives us a play on either direction with good range. So I noticed, what's this? 317, 318 area. Cool. And this is 317.25. Awesome. So right there, that's about a 65-cent move. Cool. We can play that down. Good range on that side. And then I'm gonna narrow down to the 15-minute. On the 15-minute, I'm gonna look over these lines again. Choose a little slow. So it's 321.37 here. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. I like that actually. But I'm gonna move it up a little. This is 0.52, 0.36. I'm gonna move this up to 0.4. 321.4. The reason I'm doing this is because this has been tested twice, right? It's also been a resistance over on this side and a support on the other. So that's cool. On the downside, I really like that 318.65. Why? We got one test here, two tests here, and a test here that it was initial bounce off the open. So I like underneath that for this move down here to about 318 area. So that's something I really look forward in that. But the big thing, that can help here is being able to identify the flow, being able to see where people are stepping in, and we like to see those OTM calls that give us range in either direction. Want to be able to play both puts and calls, just because you don't really want to get one-sided, and be able to play both sides, make money a little bit easier is definitely something that can help. I'm gonna throw it over here on this watch list. Haven't really done anything yet. Let's see, what is this? MSFT. Cool. All right, second, I'm gonna just go through another one. I haven't created my watch list. This is the first time. I'm gonna go hot chains and tickers. For a smaller account, I'm gonna look at that BAC. But what I really think is important about creating watch lists isn't the fact that it's a watch list, right? It's the fact that we can narrow down these plays, focus on 3 to 5 plays that give us good range, but also interpreting this flow for the possible big move. Not only that, but it helps us be able to identify key levels, support and resistance, which are ultimately the most beneficial thing I see when it comes to trading. So for BAC, right, I'm going to go up here, see today's breakdown. Another thing with the flow, how it's helped me, it narrows down my watch list, right? A big problem for me was just way too many plays, wanting to chase way too many things. But with this, I can see, ooh, whoa, that sparks my attention right away. Right away, that 45 call a second, both in that 43 even, 18,000 volume with 1,000 open interest. Something's going on, someone knows something. Cool. This is definitely one I'm going to watch. I'm going to put on my list. But back to what I was saying. Flow has really helped because it narrows down, this possibility of plays. When we're day trading, we need volume in order to get in and out of positions, and in order to really trade better. So that's something that really helps me narrow down the plays, and really helps me focus on potential plays that can make big moves. So first thing I notice here about BAC is we're in a downtrend, but we do have this hammer candle here at previous support levels. So we can play this both ways, right? I'm gonna flip down to this 1 hour, see what we got moving here, see what we got going on. All right, so the first thing I notice is this level here at 43.39 is a double bottom, possible place where we're going to see some big resistance. I'm going to flip back to the daily. I didn't see the range on this. Let's see. High to low, about a dollar-ish. Okay, so that's a little concerning. The range isn't that good, but the call spread on this, the bid-ask spread, is really, really good because it's traded a lot, right? It also has volume, so that's something we can play. Wait, let me see. Talking too damn much. So about a dollar. All right, 10%. So we're gonna look for about 10 to 20 cents. Go over this on the hourly. Where's our finish? 43.16. Okay, so about, yeah, that's a pretty good spot. But I'm gonna break this down a little bit further. 15. And then on the downside, notice here at this 42.8 level was a support. Let's see, I can't really see it too much because it's too far over. That's all right. I'm gonna go to this 15, break this down a little bit more. All right, there, I like that. So as we can see, you know, this 42.8 is definitely a big level to watch in terms of support, but it's also not within the confines of, you know, how far. But we do have the shooting star, so buyers were stepping in fast there. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to, I'm gonna keep it at 43.40. The reason being, I think we have a bigger move if we can use that support and move up to about this 43 call here, which is definitely something I like to see. And on the downside, right, let's see, 42.8, we finish at 43.16. So I'm going to put my put trigger here at 42.85. The reason being, we have this tested once, twice, 3 different times, and it also acted as a little bit of resistance up here. What's the high here? Yeah, perfect. I like that a lot. So that's something we look at too, that can really help, you know, multiple times. You know, the big thing about this video that I think why I thought this was so important for today is just being able to be self-sufficient. Finding our own plays is something that's definitely helpful, whether you're a big or a small account, you know. And then, but it's not the overall watch list that really does, you know, like the most for me and has helped me learn to trade. It's just these price levels, being able to identify key support and resistance, key levels, and then watching this price action on tomorrow, the trading day we're setting up for, and seeing how that price action reflects our points. And then we can analyze, you know, maybe my point was too high, cool. Maybe my put trigger is too low, all right, awesome. But we can analyze that and then go back through and help to build our system and learn how to trade off of that. In the end, you know, when I'm looking at a watch list and developing a watch list, I'm thinking, what's going to get me the bigger move? You know, those 20% moves like I talk about with in terms of risk to reward. My initial stop loss is at 10%, so I want to move it to at least 20%. In this case, I think we have a 20% move either way, so I like that a lot. It stays within those confines, you know, of 2 to 1 at least risk to reward. Awesome. But when narrowing down, you know, actually looking at the flow, what really helps me narrow it down is those out of the money calls with a very close expiration date, because that can act as a magnet for those big moves up in those possible 50 to 100 percenters, right? But even when we're trading in those big calls up, right, we want to scale, still manage our risk, which is something big. If you traded today, one thing I really noticed with trading today was the importance of the stop loss, right? I ended up trading PFE early and later in the day. I took 2 plays on it, actually. This is the 15. I have a bunch of different lines on this, but so on the 5, right, my original call trigger was a 60.4. And the first thing, I noticed a gap up. Cool. Have a video on playing gap ups. Basically, I'm going to wait for a retest of my call trigger in order for that to happen, in order to play this either way. So I noticed here this bearish engulfing, could have played it right away when it breaks through, crosses below. I didn't, just because it was a good name. It's near all-time highs, and there's the catalyst of Omicron, however the hell you pronounce it, breaking out. So I actually entered here on this candle break above. We get the retest on the next candle, and it supports it. And then I had these levels previously drawn in based off of their hourly levels. So scale right here, right, 60.7. I got my 20% in there. And then I scaled again up here about this 6110-ish area, and left some runners. I actually was stopped out of my runners because I did move it up knowing that the market was a little bit sketchy. Could have gone either way really fast. So I lost out, potential gains later in the day on this retest, but I secured profits. I did play it later in the day, a really quick scalp up here on this candle from 61 up to 61.5. I used this intraday level here at 61.5 with the retest before it fell, and scaled on the shooting star candle because sellers stepped in really fast. If you play this put here, you also could have a big move back down to that 60.7 line, which is really important. We can play both sides on it, but that's something, being able to make these lines, these key levels, and then trust them can really help in our ability to become profitable and keep that profitability